有人在吗？喂，好，可能有些人已经 check in 了，我现在先离开座位一下，去倒杯水，一会儿回来啊。 好，那我的时间是3点半了。那这个直播有一个坏处，其实我听不到你们声音，这跟 meeting 不太，感觉还是不太一样啊。不过呃，大概我刚看一下，从我离开座位到回来，那个我才坐下来才发现我人已经画面上显示我正要离开座位，所以那个中间 delay 可能有10到20秒。那总之我现在在讲话，呃，我问大家一下，如果听得到我的声音的话，请回答啊。我正在讲话。我首先感谢你们，可能因为好奇有上来 check 这次直播，那这次也没有什么固定要讲的内容了，其实只是想要呃跟大家呀。好，那有听到声音就感谢啊，有听到声音，谢谢刘佳琪同学啊。那我现在就尝试写几个字，看看说这样子的画质是不是还可以哈。那我就随便写个字1、2、3、4、5 XN。我正在写一些字，看看啊，一会儿会不会出现？看起来还可以啊，看起来我这边看起来画质好像还可以的样子啊。好，谢谢刘佳琪、陈彦明，谢谢周颖平，谢谢凯凯，还有一位是胡厚宁，是不是啊？丁文渊啊，谢谢Thank you, Shreya. I'm sorry, I've been speaking Chinese. Right. Thank you for Shreya for showing up here. Yeah, glad to meet you here, even though we cannot talk. But this is just streaming. Okay, so anyway, so since you get here, if you have any question, please feel free to type it or something you want me to talk about. The past homework or anything related to DSP, any problems, any questions you have in mind, if you will, this is the time. Kind of an additional session for this is like my TA hour. Okay, yeah, like a streamed TA hour. No, not TA hour. I mean office hour, online. Okay, so if the quality is the video and audio quality is alright, I'll you can feel free to leave now. This is totally not obligatory. This is optional. And I'm gonna get myself a cup of water, one more cup of water, and before I come back. So meanwhile, if you have any question, please type it or anything you want me to know. By the way, suggestion about the learning. For example, this semester we've been doing two things from time to time. We've been switching from MIT's OpenCourseware and my own video. So MIT versus Professor Liu's own videos. If you have like any thoughts about which way you prefer, is it your preferred way of learning? Please also you can let me know anytime. Okay, or start a discussion over here. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go get some water, and I'll come back to look at your comments if you have any comments. Thank you. I'll be back. Okay, yeah, I'm back. Okay, so yeah, so I think Zhou Yingping has a suggestion that before we jump into uh, homework problems, can we talk about the teaching side regarding the current distant learning situation? All right, so okay, thank you for raising this question. Um, I think the coronavirus situation has now extended beyond what I imagined at the beginning of the semester. Okay, I have to admit. So at first I thought that maybe after a month things should start to get back to normal. So then we can, at least for example, do some classroom sessions. But that hasn't happened. Really has not happened. Um, so So I remember that last time I just decided that we did one more um, just streaming session, and last time we were with Zoom actually last time, and this time we go come back to YouTube. Um, I'm not so sure because it seems that this is not really interactive. This platform for it allows us to basically broadcast to anybody in the world. Okay, anybody in the world. If as long as they have the link, you can invite your family to watch this video. But that's might not be the best thing to do. So how about this? If you maybe we can do a survey. What platform do you think would be appropriate for our situation? Would be uh, something other than Zoom, and we do have a few constraints. Okay, we do have if we want it to be interactive, I don't absolutely have to stick with YouTube. I mean, this is of course this is the purpose why we need to discuss situations. So I would like to openly invite you, those of you that are online right now, if you think there is a better platform for us to interact, which is not Zoom, be it MS Team or Google Meeting or Skype or anything else. Anything that supports up to 100 people simultaneously signing up, attending the meeting. Is our TAs here? Are our TAs here? Or Imping, do you have any suggestion? Okay, so let me just leave my verbally. I leave this question to you for you to consider. And if you do have any suggestion, please speak up. Okay, this is still pretty casual. I might not take your advice, but please speak up. Otherwise, there's no way for me to know what you think. Yeah. Thank you for Kai for speaking up. Okay, so while you are thinking of other alternatives, let me answer Kai's. Sorry, I call you Kai. Because that's how your name shows up here. Homework number 5. Homework 5. Question number 1. So I was asking your opinions basically. So the situation is when we is it downsampling, right? So we have a signal that comes in. Let's call it x of n. And then we first, before downsampling, we need to apply a low pass filter to avoid aliasing. Okay, let's say to downsample by 2, we set the color frequency to be pi divided by 2, and then we can perform decimation, as I mentioned in the lecture, in last year's lecture. And decimation means basically taking any one sample out of every 2 sample and just dropping the other sample. Okay, so naturally this question arises that do we keep the even number samples or odd number sampled odd numbered samples? And I argue that both are correct, because even and odd is just merely depends upon your definition of time 0, right? If you call this time right now time 0 versus next sample time 0, that's the only difference. So And essentially, they're both to be correct. Okay, you cannot argue against one or the other that we prefer even absolutely prefer even number to keep even numbered samples versus odd numbered samples. So both are correct. But then, if both are correct, but we also know that, let's say, right before here, we call this signal, I remember I call it x tilde of n, okay, on the blackboard. So this x tilde of n, right before, let's draw maybe a picture of a kind of cartoon. If x tilde of n is something like this, okay, many samples, and we, yeah, of course, we can try to keep the even number sample. Let me find the color highlighter. Right, this one should help. So let's say we keep the green ones. Can you see the green color? Is it clear? Yeah. We keep the green ones versus the other ones. Okay. So one is even number, the other set is odd number. And note that however closely they resemble each other, still they are different. I mean, the green set of samples versus the other set half of samples, they are not identical, okay? So how come then the question becomes, if both are correct but both are different, how could two different answers be both correct? So that's the point I want you to express your opinions, okay? I want you to express your opinions. But since this is not really that interactive, I'm going to just share my view with you. So let me put it this way, okay? Both are correct because I argue that after downsampling, after decimation, you take the green ones versus the other half of samples. Okay, the other half of samples, I want to argue that the other half of samples can be viewed very simply as the green samples delayed by half a sample. Delayed by half a sample. So I mean, these are the green sample that they come from the signal x tilde before decimation. But after decimation, if you take the other half, the black ones, then these black ones can be thought of as the green ones, the green samples delayed by half a sample. Okay, and this idea, this half sample delay, it has a name. This is generally called no, not frame, fractional delay. And it's totally doable. It's totally possible to delay. This is a topic that we haven't touched, but it's true that in digital signal processing, there are ways to delay the signal by half a sample, and naturally that also involves sync interpolation. Sync interpolation is always the way to go. Okay, so that's so then the question is, okay, yeah, this is just changing to another way to explain the situation. One is correct, the other is also correct, and the other one can be regarded as this one delayed by half a sample. But how about if this is an audio signal? They are different, but are they really different? Okay, they're different for sure mathematically, but are they really different in terms of how they sound to the ears? Okay, so my answer is that if the half delay, the fractional delay, if the fractional delay is implemented correctly, then in audio, let me share my experience. In the audio, you can make it sound identical, sound just exactly the same. You cannot tell the difference. Okay, and that's the point of delaying a signal by half a sample. So the only effect should be a delay by half a sample. Okay, so or the other way to put it is that all the signal components in every frequency, the group delay becomes half a sample more. We know that group delay can be fractional. Okay, group delays do not necessarily have to be integers. Okay, so that's my response to your question regarding homework number 5, the question number 1. All right, so here we have some more discussion about the platform. Okay, so people have good words about Office Teams. Okay, so we'll certainly consider that. My only kind of hesitation is that I try to, my personal opinion. Okay, I think Zoom's security is gonna yeah improve in the end. I'm trying to avoid setting up a new account. 我就是有点懒得再新申请一个平台，申请一个账号啊。It just so happens that I do have Skype accounts. My other course is using Skype currently, and I do have. We could have switched. Actually, YouTube is not ideal. For another reason is that because in this course we also have maybe I remember two students currently in mainland China. 我在有2位还是陆生啊。So yeah, so YouTube might not be the way to go, even though we sort of have a good time right now right here. So I'll certainly consider your feedback and thank you for those of you. I think 刘佳琪还有那个凯凯啊，凯凯 what's your name? Please let me know. 应该要加分啊。好 Okay, now we Zhou Yingping has a comment. I guess this means that equivalence holds only when Nyquist-Shannon frequency is met at one half of the original sampling frequency. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's the reason why we need a low-pass filter before performing decimation. You're absolutely correct. Yeah. Otherwise, we do have the distortion from aliasing. Okay, so I'm gonna just declare that this session dismisses again, but feel free to stick with me. I'm gonna pause for maybe a minute or so. If I don't hear anything, then I'll close the session. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna close the session right now. Bye.